Hello. Hello. I'm actually going to take my gum out. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Woo! Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. What is up, guys? Happy Tuesday. So, this is going to, I was on with you guys last night and I said we were going to do a training on mindfulness and habits, but then it turned into something else with like you guys asking me about relationship advice and dating advice. So no, but this is going to seriously be about going after what you want at like there's no other options type of going after what you want. Okay, so this is going to be, we're going to do a quick training, not a quick training, we're going to do a quick deep dive, okay, on going after exactly what you want. All right, so I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to hop on. We are going to do a training on going after exactly what you want and letting nothing be in your way, letting nothing stop you, okay? You have to literally decide that it's your time for whatever your goal is. You just literally, you make a decision, you make a switch in your brain to decide to go after what you want, okay? So literally, if you need a pen and paper, I have mine right here. I'll be jotting down some notes if things come to my mind as I'm doing this with you guys. But I want to let you guys know, and it's, I'm going to give you guys a story, but this leads into where I'm at today. And I hope that this is going to help you truly see what you have to really do when you are actually going after what you want. Because it's not easy. Okay? It's not, yeah, exactly. Start with commitment and dedication. Okay? Commitment and dedication. I really like that. So, about, 8 years ago, about eight to 9 years ago at this point, okay, I quit my job. I was a district manager. I was over 30 full-time people. I was over 400 part-time people. And I worked in a corporate job with and held a district manager position, so upper level management, okay? So I had a company car, a company cell phone. I got trips paid for, like the whole corporate perks and things like that, okay? Hated the job. Hated the job. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing with my life. It wasn't, the company morals and values did not align with my own. I wasn't able to go after hopes and dreams and things that I was really interested in because of the schedule. I had to drive an insane amount. I had to drive for 2 hours each way a day. Okay. So, the company morals and standards, this company gets sued all the time for these exact morals and values that I'm not going to go into detail about. I'm not going to tell you what who the company is, but I had worked for that company my entire 20s. And because I thought, okay, well, I have to get a job after college, right? Like you don't really go after your hopes and dreams. Like back, I'm an older millennial. So back during those times, pre-Instagram, TikTok wasn't even thought of. Facebook barely was even created. Like you just knew, okay, well, after college you get a job. And sometimes you didn't even get a job like in the industry that you got your degree in. It's just very interesting times. But yeah, so got a job. Hated the job, but I was like, well, I'm supposed to have a job. Okay. Tips for, I'll give you that in a second. Actually get my ebook. I'm telling you, people have been having success with my ebook. Click the link in the bio. I'm not kidding. I created this ebook specifically to lose belly fat and have your abs start to show through. So definitely click the link in my bio. It's the first link there. Get my ebook. Very easy to follow, and you will guarantee see results in 5 weeks if you follow all the different steps. It's literally laid out for you exactly what you need to do. So definitely check that out. Click the link in my bio for that. And I also will be doing how to build your own ebook as well. I'm creating that a mini course on that currently as we speak. So anyways, quit my job, hated it. I stayed in it because that's just what you're supposed to do. That's just what, you're just supposed to like, it's like, okay, well now you graduated, now you work now, right? Like there's any talk of like hopes, dreams, what you want to be in life, you kind of like have to really just go for it, because you're not going to get a lot of, especially during those days, you're not going to get a lot of support. Unless you just have like a really dope like family. But like my family was very traditional, like, okay, you're done with college, you get a job, right? It's not like, and I was a dancer. I really wanted to like continue dancing, but I didn't. So I still take dance classes like from YouTube and stuff like that. It's still a part of my soul. I love to dance. But so I hated the job. I stayed in the job for almost 10 years. And one day I was like, why do I keep complaining about this job? I complain about it for hours and hours on end, and then I will continue to get up every Monday morning and drive right to this job. And I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I had no idea what I was going to do. And again, I made it to like an upper level management, right? So I made it to upper level management, right? So I'm like, okay, I've already made it this far. Like, I might as well just stay. But every time I got promoted, I hated it even more. So I just was like, this just doesn't make sense. Like, I was told when you graduate college and you get a job and you just kind of like accept that this is part of life, and like you're just supposed to kind of like figure out how to enjoy it. And every year I hated it more and more and more. So I literally did this. I got out a pen and pad, and I wrote down, this is how serious I was about my goals and doing what my soul was aligned with. I said, I am quitting in 6 months. I wrote it, I affirmed it with myself and my pen. I said, I am quitting this job in 6 months, regardless if I have another job. Okay? Regardless if I have another job. Let me just see what you guys are saying really quick. Yes, good for you walking away listening to your gut. Absolutely. Okay. So I wrote that down. And then I stared at it and I'm like, okay, of course, what starts to come up? Fear, anxiety, like, wait, what? And then I kind of wanted to be like, wait a minute. No, just Ciana, put this away. Don't tell anyone that you did this. Like, just, you're going to stay in the job. It is what it is. You have to pay your bills. And I live in LA. So like, I can't afford not to have a job unless I like want to be on the street. So, or be a stripper. And like, that wasn't an option for me either. So I just was like, no, I can figure this out. So I just stared at it for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I picked a date, an actual date. I think it was like March 15th. It was March 15th. And I was like, this day I will be quitting. I don't care what's going on that day. I don't care if there's a new boss that I love, which I ended up really loving my boss actually during that time. Which, quick side note, I had an amazing boss. She was very motivating, inspiring. And I was like, dang, I really don't want to quit under her because she's so dope. And I don't want the company to think that I quit because of her. So I actually stayed until she went on maternity leave. And if she ever sees this, she'll know who I'm talking about. But I stayed and purposely was like, I'm just going to hold out until this boss is on maternity leave. So then I can quit under another boss that I don't have a relationship with. Because I didn't want it to like be a reflection on her. Okay, so anyway, so it was March 15th. I was like, okay, now what do I need to do to execute this? Because this is happening. Like, I don't care if I don't have $1 in my bank account. I know that at the end of the day, I have like a mom, a dad, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends like that I could just like couch hop. Like, I was literally that serious. Like, that's how serious it can be. And I actually, at the time I had a boyfriend and we were living together. So I was like, and I wasn't paying rent. Like we were dating, it got serious, we moved in together. But like, it was during that time where I wasn't sure if I could just be like, hey, and he's a super sweetheart. and like let me live with him, or not let me, I mean, he was a provider type, so I didn't have to pay any rent. So I was like, no matter what, I'm fine. But even if like I was like, okay, well, what if we break up? Like, what am I going to do? I didn't care. I just was like, I'm going to figure this out. Okay. So this comes back to commitment and deciding. So I allowed the fear to come up. I allowed the anxiety to come up. And I was like, well, what do I got to do to set myself up for success for this? So I was like, okay, let me have at least 6 months of saved up money, so that way I'm prepared for anything, whether me and my ex did end up breaking up, but we're friends now. But you know, I was like, okay, regardless of if we break up, regardless of this, regardless of that, I still have like 6 months reserve to where I'll be able to figure it out. I was a district manager. I'm smart enough to be over 400 people. I knew I'd be able to get another job like super easy. I wasn't worried about that. I was like, 6 months is beyond enough time, right? So, email me, cianasingh@gmail.com. Actually, no, I never use an email. Here, let me write down my email. Email me at this email right here. I'll pin it. So, I was like, what do I got to do? I know I'm smart enough. I live in LA. This is a city of like little jobs and gigs and stuff like that. I don't know why it doesn't let me pin comments, but yeah, that's my email right there. So I was like, so I'm number one, I trust myself. Okay. Number one, I trust myself. So that's that. Number two, I am not doing this anymore. I don't care what's happening, but I'm not doing it anymore. Number three, I know that because I'm giving myself 6 months to quit, I can save up 6 months worth, because I already had a little bit of savings, and then I was like, I'm going to really be intentional about really saving and cutting back, so I can quit comfortably and confidently and not feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't have like a dime to my name. So I was like, what do I need to do? So I literally wrote down what all my bills were. I looked at my bank account. So pull out a book with me if you are about that life, on figuring out what you want to do with your life or making a decision for yourself. This is what I did. This is the process that I did. Okay. And then I'm actually going to only repost this live under my Instagram, a subscription. So, right, this is, you know, I'm giving it to you guys right now, but you're not going to be able to go back and see this. My steps that I did to get to where I am now, mentally, spiritually, you know, and just going after like what I want to do with my life, and being a true, like living in a sovereign energy and not feeling like, oh my gosh, like the scarcity. I'm definitely not a millionaire, but I feel rich. I feel wealthy because I wake up every day and I'm doing what I want to be doing with my life, which I think is one of the biggest gifts that you can figure out how to give yourself, because we're actually all entitled that, but we don't really get told that. We just kind of get told, well, this is, you go to college, you get a job, that's it. Like, and then you get married and it's like, okay, well, what about like my gifts? What about my hopes and dreams? What about like my passions? What about like, I just don't come from that era where we pulled that out. Unless you were someone that was just a one-off, where you just skipped college altogether and then you just like literally went after your dreams, and then you did the couch hopping thing for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like a movie star. I actually know people like that, like huge people now that I know that literally like did not have a dime to their name, and now they're like in the biggest movies currently. So anyways, so I literally wrote down the date that was affirmed. Okay. I said, what do I need to do? So second step, I went to my bank account and I looked at all the transactions that I was doing. So I'm going to actually write this down so that way I can like do a recap. So I affirmed a date. Okay. Affirmed a date when I was going to quit. And then I looked at my bank account to see where I could cut. Okay. To see where I could make cuts, make changes. And like I knew that because, again, I was in a really blessed situation where I didn't have to pay rent at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm fine there. So I'm not paying rent anymore. So all that was like fun shopping money. Like, ooh, I get to buy outfits. I get to, go to happy hour. I get to do that. I don't even really drink anymore, but like I used to like go to happy hour. I used to like go out to eat. I would just like splurge it on weird stuff. Like, random activities, whatever. Right. So let me just see what you guys are saying really quick. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate the compliments. Okay. So I was like, that can all get cut. I have 1,000, like how many skirts and dresses and little tank tops and stuff. I don't need 70 pairs of these cheap heels that I was like buying. I was like, no. So stopped buying clothes. I like looked at all my clothes. I was like, okay, what am I the most confident with? Okay, I can just match my outfits, right? So I cut that out. I started cooking. Me and my ex-boyfriend at the time, we cooked way more. We did less like entertainment stuff, like just like for fun, like, okay, well, let's just go here for the weekend or whatever. Like we cut that down. I just looked at my bag. I was like, what am I buying? Like I just looked at my like random little like stuff at Walgreens, random stuff like when I would go to like the mall, random countless tubes of makeup that I like didn't really even end up liking. Like random like little knickknacks, like just because it was on sale. Like they know how to get people to buy stuff, because like right when we see the red sale sign, it's like our brain just thinks that we have to buy it. So I would like, oh, well, it's on sale. So like, I don't know, I might need this in the future. Like just pat racking, or I don't even know if that's like the right term, but just like collecting stuff, right? Unnecessary stuff that I literally did not need. A bunch of skincare that like I always would use skincare and then be like, I don't like it. It's not giving me the results. It's not giving me the results that I want. So I'm just gonna like not use this. And I would buy another one and then not be happy with that and not see results. When really, we can get into the skin thing, but that's a whole nother conversation in itself. Just like doing something weird. Really quick. Right? So I just was like, I can cut down on that. Okay. So next thing is look at your bank account and see where you can cut. All right. See where you can. Yeah, I'm in front of Lowe's. That's funny. Yeah, I got you. I'll get you some nails and some wood. So next thing, I stuck to it. So I actually like looked at each month. I would look at each week. So I looked at the 6 months, then I broke it down by month, and then I broke it down by week and broke it down by day. Okay. So, I figured out what I would do for entertainment. And again, I was like in a blessed situation where I was like, okay, again, I'm not relying on my ex, but like if we want to do something, I know he's got me. Right. So, instead of like just using my money to like splurge, I was stacking up. So then each day, so mind you, now I'm still working, right? Like, so I already have this game plan. I already looked at where I can cut my finances. I figured out an exact number that I could save every single month. And I committed to that number. Okay. I committed to that number. I was like, I am not going above this number. I have money for lunch. Cause I just was like, it wasn't really a scarcity mindset. It was like more of a resourceful mindset. I'm going to be very resourceful because I know that I'm going to have freedom, like I'm going to be able to like just breathe for like on March 15th, I'm going to be able to breathe. So that's what I want you guys to feel like when you're making a game plan for yourself. It may seem scary, but if you actually like write this out, like I did, I was like feeling more fueled. So every time I went to work after that, after I looked at my bank account, I had my date set. I had my number, my number that I was going to be saving. It became like a game for me and a challenge. And then I felt really good every day going to work. Like it was weird. It was like, even though I was going to a job I hated, because I knew I was going to quit March 15th and I had a game plan for it, I was like the most joyful person, right? I was still getting people promoted. I actually got offered a promotion during that time. right? So, I actually have a YouTube. Follow me on YouTube as well. cianasingh and Body Pursuit. If you go in if you go in my bio, you can click out and see what I'm talking about, or wait till after. But it's cianasingh and Body Pursuit. So I pretty much, I'll post like 5 minutes, 10-minute clips of these lives. I'll do like my reels, whatever. I have a whole game plan with like YouTube as well. But yeah, I'm over there a lot too. I go on live over there too. But I go on live over here. So tap in with me, both areas, and Instagram. So again, I had my date. That I was going to quit. I looked at my bank account. I had my budget. I felt better because I was confident. I was trusting myself. I committed to myself. I was watching myself save every single day. So I was like building trust with myself. Anxiety was going, disappearing more and more every day. I was just becoming happier. I was like, driving, I was commuting 4 hours a day. I didn't even care anymore. I just was like on the commute, I would just be thinking of like, okay, well, how creative am I going to get to like not spend money today, because I'm just putting that in my bank account because I'm going to quit on March 15th and I'm going to be free. Right. So again, this is all about what you want for your life. This is how serious I was. I was like, I don't care. I told my mom. She was like, okay, like I support like anything you do, but like, are you sure? You have such, like, you made it to a high position at such a, because I was a district manager at 26 years old. I became a district manager at that age. So I was over 30 people, over 400 part-time people, 30 people full-time at 26 years old. And she was like, are you sure? Like, you could really like move up? I was like, no, I hate it. I hate what I'm doing with my life. My dad, I was my other parent. My dad did not agree, but I did it anyway. I had supportive friends. There was other coworkers that hated the job too. I would kind of like tell them, but they'd be like, ooh, I don't know. And then I could tell that they weren't really that serious, right? Like they said that they hated the job, but maybe you really don't hate the job, because you're actually, like, I'm saying what my game plan is, and like you could actually be doing this too, but you're not really about that life. Clearly, right? Because now you're getting nervous. Now I'm being serious, and now you're getting nervous because now I'm kind of holding you accountable with my actions, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I won't tell them. Maybe I won't tell these coworkers anymore. So then I had to learn, like, you got to like do some decisions by yourself. Like, you don't need a huge support system all the time. You have the support system of God, the divine, your spirit guides, the Bible, the Quran, you have like this entire, if you do believe in God, you have an entire fleet